Hi and welcome to another episode of Toby's Barbecue Corner. Today we are having South Africa in Germany. Ostrich steak with grilled vegetables and potatoes. Now what you need for it and how to do it, I'm going to show you in this episode. And this is already all we need for today. Now obviously we need some ostrich steaks, and these are ostrich steaks from a ostrich farm right here in Germany, close to Bonn. We need some butter, we need some olive oil, you need your favorite rub. Now I like to use the Cajun rub for the potatoes. Obviously you need potatoes, salt, pepper, a little bit of butter, garlic, as well as an eggplant. Alright, let me tell you a little bit about ostriches. Now, we went to an ostrich farm not too long ago with the boys and it was really amazing. You know, I had never seen an ostrich in the flesh. So, yeah, as you can tell, the meat, nice and red, very little intramuscular fat. So it's very healthy. It's low in fat in general. It's low in cholesterol. It has a high protein level. And now, interestingly, in Germany, ostriches are actually not being used for the meat or for their skin, as in other nations, for example, South Africa or Australia. But in Germany, it's mainly for the feathers, because our car manufacturers love to use ostrich feathers to remove any dust or anything that is on cars before they go into the painting process. So, for example, BMW does that. Now, also, in addition, it's very interesting in how ostriches live, simply because an ostrich family as such always consists of one male and two females. So, yeah. Now, the interesting thing though is, whilst they form a family, every year those two females, yeah, kind of work out, I want to call it that way. Well, they fight actually, who becomes the wife and who becomes the mistress, simply because the wife's eggs will have a better chance to survive than the mistress's eggs. And so every year those two females go toe to toe, quite literally, and that's also their main weapon. So the toe or the claw that they have is their main weapon. The beak that they have is, you know, they don't have teeth. They might, you know, they might snap at you. However, they can't really harm you with, you know, with their beak, simply because it's not that dangerous. But you really have to watch out for those toes, because they are their primary weapon. Now, what are we going to do with the meat? Now, we're basically treating it like beef steak. So we're going to barbecue it direct and then a little bit of indirect. Now, however, we are not going to season them now, simply because we don't need to, and this recipe doesn't call for it. And I would also advise strongly against seasoning ostrich meat prior to actually cooking it, simply because it would draw out all that little bit of moisture that's in there. And as I said, it doesn't have a lot of intramuscular fat, so don't do it. What we are going to do though is we're going to take care of the sides. So what I like to do is I just take raw potatoes, you know, and cut them into small little chunks, because we're going to fry them up on the griddle outside right next to our ostrich steaks. So that's what you want to do, about ½ centimeter thick, and that should do it. And once cut up, I like to use my Cajun marinade one time, you know, my dry rub, put it quite liberally over those potatoes, give them a bit of a mix so they're nicely coated from all sides, and we're going to set it to the side until they're ready to go on the griddle. Next up is our eggplant. So we're going to cut off the top, cut off the bottom piece, and then we're going to cut up slices as well, equally thick if possible. And then we're going to put some salt on it and drizzle it with a little bit of olive oil. And then we're going to move on to the garlic. And make sure you do this from both sides, because eggplants love to absorb all that oil. So make sure you add a good heap of olive oil from both sides. And then lastly, the garlic, you know, just remove the skin, cut it into little chunks. Just like that. Right, make sure everything is nice and piping hot. So we're going to add some olive oil to the griddle. And then we're going to add in the potatoes. Obviously make sure everything is nicely covered. Be careful, it might splatter a little bit. so that you don't burn yourself. You want to sear the potatoes, but you don't want to burn them too much initially. And then we're going to throw on our steaks in a second. And as you can see, I'm going to put them in the pan without any oil or butter. And we're only going to put them in for about 30 seconds each side. Once you see that it's getting a bit brown or darkish on the bottom, then it's time to flip, just like that. Look how little it changes in terms of size, so you can tell, you know, there's no added water in it or whatever. So if you go obviously to a regular grocery, you know, and you buy pork or beef, they might add some water to it and then it shrinks, but look, they remain pretty much the same size. 30 seconds are up, so let's have a quick look. Just be careful, but yeah, that looks great. So we're going to remove the meat, just set it to the side, let it rest. We're going to bring down the temperature of the cast iron skillet to low. Well, this one I guess we can give a quick sear on this side, so we have it seared on all sides. The potatoes are already browning very nicely. So what we're going to do next is we're going to add in our eggplant. Oops. And now into the pan we put the butter as well as the garlic. We're going to let that melt, give the garlic a little bit of color. Without burning the butter. Don't forget your potatoes, you know, make sure you move them about, you don't want to burn them. Alright, and we're already ready to remove the garlic. We don't want it to get too dark. And guys, I apologize for the background noise, but today it's a bit windy, so my awning is playing havoc with this video. Right, what we're going to do next is we're going to put the ostrich back inside the butter. And then we're going to take the heat off altogether, because obviously that cast iron skillet has sufficient heat, and we're going to cover it up and let that cook for about 30 more seconds. In the meantime, let's flip over that eggplant, and it's gotten some great color already. And we're almost ready to eat. Right guys, let's get ready to plate up. So I created this little leaning tower of eggplant, so to speak. We're gonna take some of those lovely barbecue fried potatoes. Look how nice they came out. Nice and crisp and brown. Just lovely. And then we're just gonna take 2 steaks from our ostrich. And then towards the end, we're going to carefully drizzle some of that garlic butter almost over them. Now I reintroduced the garlic to our meat just seconds before I served, you know, to give it that extra little bit of flavor. And there we have it guys, our South Africa and Germany ostrich steak with grilled vegetables and potatoes. And we're going to dig in now. Alright guys, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video about the ostrich steak. Now, it was super delicious. One thing to keep in mind though, watch your temperatures, watch your time, because obviously because there's not a whole lot of intramuscular fat, it will be very easy for the meat to get dry. So just watch that temperature as you cook, and to get all the other ingredients, you know, al dente, so to speak. Another shout out to the in-laws. Thank you very much for this lovely shirt. I know usually everything is better with bacon or Bluetooth, depending on which side of the line you're on, but today there was no bacon involved, still it was delicious. So thank you very much. Now, if you did enjoy the video, I would appreciate a comment and a thumbs up, and please head over to that subscribe button for more great videos to come, and I hope to see you soon again at Toby's Barbecue Corner.